When my dad dies, he wants his ashes pressing into a record. It's his vinyl request. Oh, for that note, don't forget, comment your dad jokes down below. Right, so hello again everybody and welcome back. If you watched yesterday's video, you'll know I've bought each of the new Amazon Fire TVs, and this is the 65-inch OMNI QLED. So now I've got it set up and everything, let's take a quick look, see if it's worth buying, see if it's any good, or see if it's absolutely dog shit. Right, so that being said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and let's crack on. Right, so the first thing I noticed when I got this TV is the weight. It's really heavy. It's about 22 kilograms. So if that's something that might hinder your decision on whether this TV is any good or not, then just know it's pretty heavy. But yeah, the 65-inch, as we can see, it's got built-in Alexa, or like a Fire Stick. Oh no. Stop. They're very sensitive, aren't they? But that's it really. I don't really need to show you the smart features because if you look at all the other videos on my channel, they've got this on. So obviously it's just like a Fire Stick. You can install all your streaming apps to it and ding-dangly do. No need for an external streaming device, and that's one of the good things that makes this TV appealing. But obviously for anybody wondering, you can add external streaming devices or cable boxes. Just long hold the home button, we can go down to inputs, and then you've got a choice from HDMI 1 to 4, and also the aerial. Now what I did do was just start watching some 4K content on YouTube because I were intrigued to see what it was like, and I've got to say, the camera I'm using doesn't do it any justice. I'm just filming off my phone, but the picture quality did surprise me. I thought with it being an Amazon's own TV, and they were saying it were this 4K OMNI QLED, God knows what that meant to mean. But I thought it were all words and it were just going to be dog shit. I have got a 55-inch JVC Fire TV, and that one it were alright, but when I put it next to my Samsung, it did look pretty bad. But this one is pretty good. Now all the colours and the detail and all that sort of stuff, really good. And then while I was watching these videos, I put on the Avatar trailer, and that looked awesome. Like once again, the detail, the colouring, the movement, it's really smooth. I thought it were going to be jumpy and laggy, but it's not, and so far so good. Now a lot of people did ask about the stand, how big it is and all that, and I will get into that in a moment. I'm looking then because I think I've scratched my table. But one feature I do like is, if I click the power button on the remote, this is the remote that comes with it by the way, so that's the remote you get with the TV. If I click the power button, it goes into this ambient mode, meaning it's just showing you nice crisp images to have in the background, and a lot of people seem to like this. What I can do is click on the 3-line button on the remote, and it gives me a few different options. What I can do is change the background, so I've got a selection of different images I can use. And then you've also got an option for widgets, so if I wanted to add weather, and then I wanted to add what should I watch, and you can also add stuff like your calendar and reminders, your smart home features, sticky notes, and then they get added to this ambient screen as well. But one thing I have noticed, if I click the home button, click the power button, it doesn't always register it. If I click the power button again, now it's done it. Click the home button, power button. So that's one thing I did notice, where it wasn't actually picking up the button presses at times. Now if you're looking at the TV from the front, the power cable goes on the left at the back. And then once again, if you're looking at the TV from the front, the cables like your HDMIs go to the right. And what we can see ports-wise, we've got optical Ethernet, 2 USBs, a cable or antenna, 3 HDMI 2.0 ports, a HDMI 2.1 port, a mini AV cable and an IR emitter. One thing I will say though is the power cable, it's not that long. It's about 1.5 meters. And yeah, people don't need crazy length cables, I know, but some people like to know how long it is. You get me? Something a lot of people were asking is the dimensions, and the width of the TV is 145 centimetres. Then the height of the TV comes in at around 85 centimetres. And then the stand, so the width you're going to need on your TV stand or wherever you're putting it, if you are putting it on the stand, it's just over 1400 wide, so 141 centimetres. And then the depth of the stand comes in at around 35 centimetres. so you would need quite a big stand to put this on. And if we quickly take a look at the back of the TV as well, you can see about halfway down it's got quite a big ridge, and I'm guessing this is where all the weight comes from, but that is 50mm deep or 5cm. And then what you can see, the screws for a wall bracket are on the bottom half. And then I flicked on the light to see what the glare was like. Is it reflective? And it is quite reflective. But then again, if I'm watching a TV in a bright room and it's reflecting towards a window, I'm always expecting to see that anyway. And then this has got her built in, so turn off TV. Easy as that, innit? Turn on TV. Sound. Alexa. Open Netflix.
Here's Netflix.
So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff you can do without even using the remote. Now, I did think when I was sitting this close, nobody's going to be sitting this close to this TV, by the way, but I did notice when I was looking at it, like, stuff looked a bit blurry. So it made me think, is it one of those where it's actually dog shit? But then I opened up YouTube, played some 4K video, and it looked awesome. One thing I will say is I thought it had 2 USB ports, but it does say it's only got one, so I wonder if the other one's to power, such as like a Firestick. And then if you want to take a look at how it compares to the other range of TVs Amazon do, you can take a look at this image here. And I know a lot of people like to use TVs like this for gaming. I haven't had the chance to put my PS5 onto it, but let me know in the comment section down below if you used it for gaming. Now, when it comes to pricing, if I quickly jump over here, as we can see, at the moment, it's £999.99, so it's £1,000. Now, would I recommend that people bought it for that price? I'd say no. And the only reason being is that Amazon put their products on sale all the time. And when this TV was first released, before the release date, I got it for £699, which I think is an absolute bargain for a 65-inch QLED TV. But when you start getting to the £1,000 range, this is where people could argue you should really be looking at getting a TV from someone who makes TVs a lot, who specialises in it, such as Sony, Samsung, Hisense, and all those brands. One major downside for me, it's not a downside at the moment, but I bought the 55-inch JVC Fire TV. And at first it were all hunky-dory, it were working brilliant, smooth, it were fast. Over time, I have noticed it's got a bit sluggish and slowed down. It does still work, it works fine, but not as fast as it once did. Now, I'm not sure if that's something we're going to see from these TVs as well. Obviously, I'm not going to know at the moment, it's brand new, but it will be interesting to see over time if it starts to run dog shit. I think it's got 2GB of RAM and like 10GB of internal storage. It should work fine because this is one of Amazon's premium devices or TVs, but you just never know, do you? Right, so comment your thoughts and opinions on this. If you own one, let us know as well so other people can take a look and see your thoughts too. There's still a lot I've got to explore on it. I've only got it out of the box yesterday. But a TV for me is, how does it look? And when I was watching 4K video, I can't complain, it looked brilliant. And also, if you're wondering what the built-in speakers sound like, here's a quick clip now.
Speed.
238 kilometers per hour and holding steady.
You all right over there?
I do love capping me some bad guys.
So what does her heartbeat sound like?
What I will say is, it does sound quite good, up to around 30 or 40%. And that is pretty loud, but when you go really high up to where we went to 80, the bass, it's not very good. But for general use, the speakers are quite good, but it is quite heavy, like myself. Right, so that's it for this one. That's the new Fire TV 65-inch OMNI QLED or QLED. I'm not even sure if you meant to say it like that. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments though. And also don't forget to subscribe because we've got reviews of the other TVs to do as well. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you soon. Ta-da!